Greetings, African people. I'd like to start with an analogy. Black people or African people around the world are like buckets. And the wicked things that have been done to Black people over the years are like water in that bucket. The one who carries the bucket are our enemies. And for generation, the wickedness have been poured into African people. But our elders told us that every day bucket go to well, one day the bottom must drop out. And so the one that carries that bucket that continuously pours wickedness in the Black people's lives will one day find themselves falling through the bottom of this bucket. Don't panic. There is a law of nature, and then there is karma. And if you insist on doing bad things to yourself or to other people, there will be a limit to how much you can take or those who you inflict this wound upon. And so, what we see now is a period of unrest, not just for African people, but for those who carry that bucket and continuously pour that wickedness in that bucket because they're leaking out now. And the water that's pouring from this bucket now is truth. Individuals are wiser than they've ever been. Black people are smarter than they have been. And Black people have always been very smart. When they were slaves, they played games to get what they wanted. And individuals thought they were stupid, but they weren't. It's that kind of stupidity that they presented to the world until they got their freedom. So I told you that it was time for a Black man to die. Prince, we're talking about, from drugs. This was weeks ago before the results came out, and now we hear that he died from opiate or whatever that drug is called. That is a sign to you to say that the enemy's story are becoming very weak. They're becoming so transparent. In the past, before the internet and all these things, individuals were able to come out and present an image or a story and everybody bought it. But now, because the eyes are on the arrows, they break. And more and more you'll see the enemies breaking, their stories getting weaker, and they succumb to their own guile, their own lies. And the holes that they dig for innocent people, they shall fall in it. So perhaps Prince sacrificed his life by speaking out, because every one of these people who die from drug overdose have been individuals who started getting up and standing up against a system that was foul. You have to understand what is happening. Things are going to get worse before they get better. We are in what they call Armageddon. Not just the biblical explanation of it, but understanding as prophecy. Not prophecy based on some ideals to frighten you, but prophecy or prophetic things that individuals had plans to do will manifest themselves now. We are in a warfare, and it is indeed a spiritual warfare. Understand yourself as African people. Look around you, let the scales fall off your eyes and witness. Because those who would wish to destroy you is actually going to destroy themselves. They're going to succumb to the guile of their own demon democracy. They're going to die falling on their own swords. And African people will not have to do anything but stand in the corner and watch and sometimes pity. They are getting weaker. And they're doing things to destroy themselves. They're doing things to prevent the race from becoming stronger. Because when you create systems that oppose or opposes that which is normal, that which is natural, all you're going to do is self-destruct. The law of relativity, the law of nature, the law of karma withstands any weaklings ill intention. Think for yourselves, people. Listen to what I'm saying and think for yourself. I said it was time for another Black person to die of drugs. And here we are. But do not panic. Be happy. Be happy and know that when someone plans to kill you or destroy you, what they're actually doing is destroying themselves. And then you can laugh and say, the mighty has fallen. Be blessed, African people. Think on these things.